Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll.
Coaching,
Here.
Judas,
Here.
Fluharty,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Asbury,
Here.
Saunders.
Here. Okay, can I have a motion to excuse Councilwoman Spinks, made by Fluharty, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Coaching,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Council, you have the minutes of the work session of August 1st, 2022. Any corrections to that? Seeing none. Motion for acceptance by Asbury, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Coaching,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
And you have the minutes of the regular meeting of August 1st, 2022. Any corrections to that? Seeing none. Motion for acceptance by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Oh, yeah, sorry. This new system, I gotta slow down a little bit.
Okay, you can go.
Call the roll.
Coaching,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
The special council meeting minutes are not complete as yet, so we will go on to the minutes of the work session of September 6th, 2022. Any corrections to those? Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Asbury, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Coaching, Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Same.
Okay. And we don't have the minutes for the regular meeting of September 6th, so we will move on. Under old business, presentation from, we have none?
No presentation. I don't believe it.
Under old business, ordinance number 10,015-22.
Which is an ordinance replacing ordinance number 9899-21 concerning section 911.01 of our codified ordinances regarding resident water rates and as related to, well, that's the water rates and declaring an emergency.
We would like to put that on second reading. I have a motion for such by Saunders, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Coaching,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Ordinance number 10,016-22.
Amending ordinance number 9900-21 pertaining to our codified ordinance 911.03 entitled Rate Reduction for Disabled Persons and Senior Citizens, Water and Sewer Discounts, and declaring an emergency.
Shut that off.
Maybe cell phones, sometimes cell phones if they're by the mic.
Sorry about that. Still. Need a motion for second reading by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Coaching,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Ordinance number 10,017-22.
Amending ordinance number 9901-21 concerning section 913.02 entitled Sewer Rates of our codified ordinances as related to sewer rates and declaring an emergency.
Again, we wish to do that on second reading. I have a motion for such by Fluharty, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Cochee,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Reports, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a couple items this evening. One, just want to give a quick update regarding the Broadway project. That it was tentatively set, we had a status meeting last week, and it was tentatively scheduled to be completed this week. This morning's rain threw that off a bit. They were going to be buttoning up some electrical work. So it'll most likely get pushed back at least another day. Still optimistic we may be near the end by the end of the week, but most likely we'll be doing our walkthrough and punch list review next week, but that is nearing an end. We will then be contracting with the company that council passed an ordinance a couple months ago regarding all of the painting that's going to be taking place, so they'll be moving in the coming weeks to start on all the light poles and traffic signals. The Archer gas line project, it's probably a couple months to go with that. The main gas line was put in. They're going to be looking at the individual connections. And like I said, they're up to 2 months. There's a chance that'll be completed sooner, but we're going to be conservative and say they have 2 months to go. I want to make an announcement that the city was awarded a SAFER grant through the federal government. That grant is in excess of over $600,000. I have to give credit to Chief Nagy and especially Assistant Chief Dan Dobsloff for putting this together and being the lead on that. This grant is going to be able to fund at 100% 2 additional fire and EMS medics. And I believe our current list is, our lateral transfer list is updated, as there's a number of candidates on there that we're going to be narrowing the field and hopefully bring on some additional staff members. And lastly, just again, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, we do have a status, our attorneys have a status call tomorrow with Judge Gall, as well as the attorneys for University Hospital regarding our litigation and the ongoing mediation that's taking place, basically in our efforts to get this emergency room reopened. We'll provide an update after that. End of report.
Thank you. Yeah, the gas company, it's all right in front of my house, so. But they're doing a good job of maintaining traffic. It's gotta be done, I guess. Well, I know it has to be done, not I guess. Mr. Law Director.
Just thank you all for coming. I really don't have any report. If I could be of assistance, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Madam Finance Director.
Yes, I do not have a report today, thank you.
Thank you. Council, Mr. Saunders.
Yes, a quick note for Mike. Do we have a start date of when the water line is gonna start on Ennis and on Harriman? And which one's gonna go first?
We do not have a start date. We're actually going to be scheduling a pre-con meeting. I believe they're looking at next week for that meeting. And I'll have that in my weekly report as soon as we get that meeting completed.
Now, I would assume you're closing Ennis during this time period because of the hazardous hill. You can't maintain two-way traffic for sure on that one. Harriman's not as bad, but, Ennis would be critical that they would probably have to close that to accept for local traffic.
Yeah, we'll discuss that with, obviously our police and fire are always involved in those meetings, but I'll bring those concerns up.
Okay, the next thing is, since they're working on the gas line on Archer, have they approached us yet as to the next phase that they're gonna do in the city?
No.
Because I know there's several sections that are still in bad shape. The gas line on my street's been leaking for 15 years, so, and they're aware of it, so.
Well, I'll inquire, but I'm not aware of the next step yet. but I
Okay,
can
because
inquire.
usually they come to us ahead of time, before they're even finished with the current one they're on, so, okay, thank you.
Mr. Janutus.
Thank you. I want to express my gratitude to the city of Bedford for not raising our water rates. There is a slight increase in our sewer rates, which is understandable, a lot that's going on. And I especially want to express my appreciation for the program of rate reduction for disabled persons and senior citizens in need. I think that's wonderful that the city does it. So thanks for that in the report.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty.
Mike, is this October the last month for hiccups for this?
It is,
Stuff?
it is.
It is October?
Thank you.
Okay, because I got people I have to check, make sure they know that, so they don't wait till next spring. I just want to remind everybody, and we've had discussions ourselves about safety around these school buses and people driving, and people need to be aware that school's in, of course, and we can't be flying around these school buses, and be a little more aware of what's going on. Also, the neighborhoods, or at least when I drive through most of the neighborhoods, I think we need to do a little better job of cutting our grass down. I know it's October, or going on October. It's a shame that we still have to be telling people to cut your grass. It just still mind boggles me that I have to do this to people, and it's a shame that people don't take care of better property, of their lots and everything else. Because it just doesn't look good throughout the whole city, and it's not good for when people go to sell their houses and everything else. People drive through our town, and they go, it's not like it used to be. If you lived in this town as long as I have, it never was that way, and it's just a shame that you have to tell people to cut your grass. I don't know how else to say it, but it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Like I said, just be aware of the kids. That's the main thing in the report.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to welcome Dr. Johnson. Good to see you.
Thank you, you as well.
I was talking to Mike, and anyone in my ward, I've been in the ward for 24 years, and Colony Club is starting to spend some money on the aesthetics of their property. They put in a higher curb on Cork Hill as you go toward Broome and Greencliff there, so they don't run up on the side of the road there. So I thought it was the city doing it, but I found out that it was actually Colony Club that was doing that. They've done all of their parking lots, and they'll continue to work on some other things. So they are spending some of the money on the aesthetics of their property in the report.
Mr. Asbury.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to congratulate Fire Department, Chief and Dan Dobsloff on the SAFER grant, which is through the Federal Emergency Management Association, FEMA. This will fund 2 firefighters for 3 years, and that's a great thing. So congratulations to everybody involved in that. Our community garage sale was this past weekend, and I'm happy to say it was a pretty big success. We had, last count, that was the people that actually made the list. I believe it was 72 houses, but I think there was more that didn't make the list. I was able to go out Saturday morning and pick up some stuff that I didn't need. Went back out a little later in the afternoon, of course, picked up something that my wife needed, so it all worked out great. There were multi-families on the same street, there were people barbecuing, people meeting people that they haven't met before. It was a really good event, and I think we are planning on an annual thing, so. We did learn some things this year, and next year, hopefully it'll be bigger and better, so. Children's Fall Fest is coming up October 1st from 10 to 1 on the square. And a little blurb, they say children and family are invited to enjoy a variety of fall activities, including hunting for a pumpkin in the pumpkin patch, dancing and singing along to music, and much more. So come on out, bring your kids out. That's Saturday, October 1st from 10 to 1. BDA's last first Friday of the year will be held on October 7th. The hours have changed because it's getting darker a little earlier now, so we're going from 5:30 to 7 p.m., and that's calling all superheroes. So get your little ones dressed up to superheroes and come on down to the square for some fun. Board of Election, I was informed that, I'm going to pull up this message here. Some people are submitting their request for absentee ballots, and they're not filling out the request forms correctly, so those are being denied. And I guess the problem is, I haven't seen it because I generally vote in person, but it's something to do with the date. Trying to find this real quick here. Looks like date of birth, especially date of birth, which is printed between lines and it's easy to miss. So if you're filling out a request for an absentee ballot for the November election, please make sure that you fill out the request form correctly, because if not, it will be denied. There's going to be a delay. And I think that's it. End of report.
Thank you. I would invite Dr. Johnson, if you, so last meeting, we weren't quite prepared, and now this meeting, I would offer you that spot to come forward and tell us something, what's happening at the schools.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. Those that know me know that I'm not one for much of a spotlight. But I do appreciate this opportunity because I feel it's so important that as a school district, we keep those lines of communication open and we don't just come to you when we need something, but we kind of let you know continuously what's kind of happened in the district, whether it's good or it's bad. So you'll see myself or one of the executive directors, or one of the board members at one of the meetings at least once a month, to just kind of share a little bit about what's happening in the district. This week, some good stuff, fun stuff. It is homecoming week for us. So Wednesday, weather permitting, is the homecoming parade, with Friday being our homecoming game against Shaw High School. So we just encourage individuals to come out to that as well. We have a lot happening, this week with We Are One theme. That's our theme this year as a district, that we're all trying to head in the same direction. So even our pre-K through second grade buildings are having their own spirit weeks this week as well. In addition to that, just a couple of things that we're focusing on. As you know, just over the past couple of years, the pandemic has taken a toll on everyone, but especially our children. So many schools have really put a lot of focus and emphasis on social and emotional learning. I'm very grateful to our board for that support, and they provided the opportunity for there to be a SEL interventionist in every single building. So right now, what they are doing is we're preparing to do our mental health screening. We will train all of our staff as a reminder of what that purpose is and what that assessment can do. So that will be conducted over the next couple of weeks. And that will basically identify our students that kind of are on the radar, but also some that maybe aren't, that need a little bit of extra support. We utilize that data to establish even some of our groups, some smaller groups, to kind of work with our students and provide some of that support. In addition to that, the board has also provided an opportunity for us to create our staffing, even in our social work department. So we have an additional social worker as well, because we wanted a multi-tiered system of support for our students, even in the field of mental health. So not only are we working on the curriculum side of things in each of the buildings, but we needed that gap or that liaison between school and home, which was why we needed that additional social worker. So that is mainly our focus and some things that you'll hear over the next couple of weeks. If you have not already, please make sure that you sign up for our communications. That's been great because Denise Dick, our communications coordinator, has reached out to your departments, and you guys are always willing to put a little blurb in our communication, and that goes to all of our families. So if there's something that you want us to advertise, or you want something communicated to our families, you can provide that to Denise, and that goes out every other Friday. So she sent one out last Friday, the next one will go out next Friday. And at short notice, she can kind of whip some things together. Another thing that we put out in alignment to working on focusing on mental health is there is a mental health newsletter now. So that will go out monthly. Just some tips for our parents, some things that they can look for, any assistance that they might need. We just want them to know that we're here for them. So whether they are a student in our district or they're living in one of our 4 communities, whether you're a student or an adult, we're here for you to provide that support. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Good to have you here. And,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, we talked about communication, and we have a meeting next week, I believe it's next Tuesday,
The mayor's meeting.
that Mike and I and the other mayors meet with the superintendent on a quarterly basis. And so he's informative, because we need to know what each other's doing. And that's a good thing, to keep that communication open. I know we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been very nice. I appreciate all of your support as well, especially Mike, whenever I need something, I'm reaching out as well, and I appreciate your response. In addition to that, we had a great meeting this summer on our safety and security meeting. So if not already, you'll be getting an invitation for a meeting in the next couple of months as a follow-up to the 4 communities, where we had the mayors come out, and we also had the chiefs of police come out as well, where we all just kind of came together with everything happening in our schools. We wanted to just all make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're doing what we need to do as a school to keep all of our children safe. So I appreciate your collaboration and support by coming out to that as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, is our sidewalk program started?
They really started last week, but I don't believe it started. I can check that.
Individual residents can have sidewalks
They can,
at our price.
at our price, yeah. Those
They pay,
letters-
but it's,
Yeah, those letters went out, yes.
just want to make sure. And on a sad note, we had the funeral today for Gene Tylecki, who was a longtime city mechanic who just passed away this past week, and I just want to offer our condolences to his family. He was buried this afternoon. Keep him in your prayers, his family in your prayers. Got a big agenda here. Let's get into the new business. Resolution number 2591-22.
Authorizing the city manager to seek financial assistance from the Ohio Public Works Commission State Public Works Program to fund a capital infrastructure improvement project and declaring an emergency.
I have a motion for suspension by Fluharty, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Coche,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
A motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Asbury. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. ODOT's going to be resurfacing Broadway starting next spring. Per the agreement, the city is going to be required to match up to 15% of that total project, which we believe will be approaching, if not exceeding, $3 million. This resolution is authorizing us to go and seek financial assistance, grant dollars, or zero-interest loan dollars. We prefer grants through the State of Ohio, Ohio Public Works Commission funding mechanism.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Cochee,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Ordinance number 10,022-22.
Authorizing an ordinance, enacting an ordinance by the city of Bedford, between the city of Bedford and the ODOT for the Broadway resurfacing project, and declaring an emergency.
Have a motion for suspension by Saunders, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Cochee,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Fluharty, second by Janutus. Mike?
This is the standard agreement between a municipality and ODOT for these types of resurfacing projects. This one in particular is for the Broadway project. We did negotiate that 15% down. Standard is municipalities have to match up to 20%. We had showed that we were maintaining areas of Broadway and that we made substantial investments over the last 20 years, and they had reduced our percentage. So that was built into this document. Obviously, if there's extras, we'd be responsible for some of that, and it's detailed in the agreement. Handicap curb ramp, all of that is detailed in the agreement. And with this project approaching and the sale taking place later this year, ODOT is looking for the agreement to be executed.
Thank you. Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Cochee,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Now we come to hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment. Seeing none. A motion for adjournment, Fluharty, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Cochee,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.